Hello, this is Veltria, and I wanted to talk about what I've heard about Ghost in the Shell live action movie that they plan on releasing in 2007. I have no doubt that doing a movie for Ghost in the Shell can be possible and done really well. But my issue is the actress they chose to be Major Mokoto. I like Scarlett Johansson. In a lot of movies, especially in the Avengers, she plays Black Widow really well. But I have an issue of her playing a Japanese character, and she is not of Japanese descent. And I'm so sick and tired of Hollywood constantly always wanting to put a European person or somebody of European or Caucasian descent to play ethnic roles. There is no excuse other than they wanted somebody with a big name that's been in big budgeted movies and done really well to be in their movie. That's the only reason. Because you should have a Japanese American play the role or a Japanese person, period. There's too many beautiful Asian women in our country that you could have choose from. And I'm just so sick and tired of Hollywood always wanting to whitewash movies or characters that should be of, Asian or black descent. Like, I'm sick and tired of it. Like, it's like y'all didn't learn from Gods of Egypt, where Egypt is on the continent of Africa, but instead they chose almost an all white cast, and then the movie bombed. Of course it did. Because nobody's stupid. Nobody's living in the 1950s and 60s where they would make fun of Asian slash, Japanese people. Like, it's ridiculous. Chinese got made fun of, Japanese, all the different Oriental cultures, in the past, like in the early times of movies, they were played by white people because at the time they were racist. You know what I mean? It was a different society, but it's sad that this shit is still going on. Like, come on. We are in the 2016, people. There should be no excuse for this shit at all. And then on top of that, now they wanting to say that they gonna CGI Scarlett Johansson to make her look more Asian. If you're gonna do a ton of CGI work, you might as well make this a complete 3D CGI movie, okay? Just turn it into some of the animated CGI movies that have came out. And then you could have Scarlett Johansson playing the voice of the character. You could still have a big budgeted actress play this character, but CGI it at least. You know what I mean? CGI the whole entire movie. Because if you're not going to change the location or change the names to make it more Americanized, and you still wanting to have it set in Japan, and then you gonna freaking whitewash a lot of the roles, that makes no damn sense. It's ridiculous. I don't know why Paramount even agreed to do some shit like that, because most of the movies where they've done that too have not been as successful as they wanted it to be. Sure, it made some money, but it didn't make a lot of money in the long run. It was a complete flop. That's why I don't understand this. It's like, it seems like, the people here of Asian descent or, you know, Oriental descent, they need to do like what Bruce Lee did and end up making their own and translate it to English or have voice actresses or voice actors. Because unfortunately, when Bruce Lee was alive, he had to go to China to do his movie the way he wanted it done. And then he came back over here. They add the dubbing with great voices. And then Hollywood finally was like, oh, okay, we'll do a movie. We'll do Enter the Dragon for you. Finally. But he had to go to China in order to have it done his way so he could be in control. You know? Because when he did his role as Kato, he made that character. He really did. Because they were just going to have him as, a servant. Bruce Lee made that character where he does more than be a servant and actually be a really good sidekick to the Green Hornet. So that um, I think that they're gonna end up having to do the same thing when it came down here. You know what I mean? Like I like the show off the boat, straight off the boat. It was really funny. You know what I mean? It's a family, and everything like that. And unfortunately, it seemed like the Asian community, whether you're Chinese, Japanese, Korean, they're gonna have to do the same exact thing in order for them to be more in cinema regarding their work. I just hated that Hollywood out here grabbed it because I would have loved to have seen a version of it in Japan. And it probably is. I just haven't, researched it. But I'm tired of Hollywood doing that. I really am. It's got me upset because I love the series. I haven't read the manga, but I know the anime. I watched a lot of episodes of the anime. I really love the character. I really love the complexity of the story and the type of society that they set up in Japan in the future. It's really great. And I can't and it's like to me, they want to turn this into an Aeon Flux. The difference is Aeon Flux, yes, it was created by I believe a Korean gentleman. I could be wrong. I haven't looked it up in a while, but the character itself is white. So they could cast a big name character to play that character, and they did. And I think the movie was pretty good. But it seemed like they want to turn Agent Mokoto into Aeon Flux when they're two different fucking characters, okay? One is white, one is Japanese, okay? And Hollywood needs to stop whitewashing shit. They need to stop whitewashing stuff because we're in a time where people are not gonna take that. And if they, I have a big feeling if they go through doing this movie, it will be a flop, or they may break even because nobody's stupid. Who are you making this movie for? A lot of fans of the series would like to go see one of their favorite series in a theater live action. But they won't go and see that if you disrespect the character doing that. They will not go. And people who are not familiar with the series may end up not going to see it at all because they hear so much flack that it's getting and know that this character who's supposed to be of Japanese descent being played by a white lady, and then on top of that, you're gonna CGI and make her more Asian looking? That's insane. That's ridiculous. So that's just what I have to say. That's my opinion. And I know there's people that may not agree, and you're perfectly fine having your own opinion. But me, this is just my observation. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope you have a good day or a good night, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you.